Yeah, I guess maybe it's an unfair question. I was asking more of a description of the people who are generally criticizing you cooperating with TPUSA.
Well, well, first of all, just so you know, I don't think that I've actually gained very many critics. I think it's the same critics that I already had who already hated me, who just also use this as a point as well.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I have zero doubt in my mind no one is criticizing you that wasn't already.
Right. It's 100% the case. So
Oh yeah, and
there might be some, but it seems like it's the same old crew, right? It's like it'll be Jake Shields, Stu Peters, Ian Carroll. Now the entrance would be like Baron Coleman and a few other ones who are part of the Candace Owens crew, but largely that audience would already have been highly critical of me.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll correct the record on that, Andrew. And it's not. I mean, I don't mind pushing back a little bit. It's not even to have a long drawn out debate either. But I think I'm seeing more of a percentage in somebody as like well liked as you. It's probably only 1 to 2% if I had to guess. But I'm seeing an increase in people that are of new people that really agree with what a lot of things you've said and have loved that you're uprising, if that's what we want to call it. And they've loved it, and now they're forced to step away because because of our greatest ally, this dilemma, and I think it is a dilemma.
I understand, and I agree that there's a dilemma there, but I think that I'm completely consistent. And Adam, you're a speaker. You can just unmute and talk whenever you want, just so you know.
Well, could I
well, you can't until I address his point. Okay, not you, Adam. I'm just talking to Patty Cake. So, I agree with you in one sense that there is a dilemma there, but I've been completely consistent on my views since the very beginning that I thought that this Candace Owens stuff was all bullshit. That's one. And then secondarily, I've been very clear in my view that handing leftists in any institutional power from the right is. So I don't know if people are suddenly waking up to the views that I've always had, and now they only disagree with them. Then fuck them.
Gage, go ahead, Gage.
Hey, thanks, Andrew, for putting me on. And what's going on, Adam? I'm a fan. What I wanted to say is these conspiracies about Tyler Robinson, about Charlie Kirk, they're really ridiculous.
I get it, but this is for ops, bro. I get it. Just thank Andrew for all he's done. We get it.
Well, hang on. No, it's not just for ops. I don't know where you got that idea. I'm willing to bring ops up, but this is not like a space where the ops take over either, right? So if this guy has something that he wants to say quickly, he can say it. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is the issue, what we're seeing is there's a radicalization of everyday people. Tyler Robinson, from what I'm seeing, he's this regular guy, and Charlie Kirk, this is a regular team. People are being radicalized, and from my investigations, it's saying like before we're all seeing it, really is like the left media, how they're kind of really like vilifying these people, and now we're seeing like such a high level of political violence. It's ridiculous. And then
that's what that's what I'm saying, man. Like we missed our chance to unite after Kirk's death. And these by the way, this is not the last of them. Lefties are going to kill more people. Left-wing radicals are 100%, and you can mark my words on this, going to more people, especially if they think that it'll throw the right into disarray, because we have conspirators who will be like, no, that was actually the government and the left is based, because we're stupid, bro. Anyway, I'll let you roll.
Sorry, I would argue real
I'm sure you would.
Gage, this is to your point. Also, not to your point, but opposing your point that nobody talks about what the right could potentially do to Barron or Candace. Like, for some reason, you think these people are insulated from this, and they're not. And I'm not, the left, but I mean, I think it could come from the right. And we've seen recently Anna Kasparian speak out against Jack Posobiec trying to.
Bro, where are all of these where are all the right wingers people at, bro? Can you show me some?
No, I cannot.
No, you can't because
Right.
because you're full of it, bro. They're
So,
not.
Just-
okay, so
It's left wing lunatics. Left wing lunatics are always the ones everybody, dude.
I get
Amy
you're
Coney
kind
Barrett,
of
she's
okay.
even talking about how she has to wear the bulletproof vest, and there's all these issues. She's asking for more security. So we're seeing people on the right; they're wanting more security from what? From
left wing
leftists.
lunatics. From left wing lunatics.
And
Yes,
I'm not making the argument that it's prevailing on the right. I'm saying that nobody is actually like she's at the biggest risk right now. Candace, you're talking about all these risks. Candace has the number one target on her back, and Barron as well. And it's propaganda. The propaganda is coming from the right. That's all the point I was making. I'm not saying
no. Her propaganda is going against the right. So I don't know what I see it a complete 180 degrees away from where you do. She's punching right. The right's not punching. The right's not punching her. She's accusing various right-wing NGOs of orchestrating Charlie Kirk's with no evidence. It's like, yeah, that's going to piss them off. I'm sure.
absolutely.
I'm sure that's going to make them big mad. I'm sure that's going to make them upset, but they're not going to get over it.
Just because she's popular doesn't make it propaganda. Like there's other people that
people.
No, the propaganda is when you're constantly using rhetorical devices absent any evidence in order to change people's minds. That's why propaganda has a negative connotation. I consider it to be a negative. It's a negative if you're utilizing propaganda. That would be rhetoric, absent evidence to change people's minds to a political position. That's propaganda.
I get it, but it's not as prevalent. Just her being just herself is not prevalent compared to what's happening with the Brandon Talmud Tatums, the Jack Posobics, the Graham Allens, and the usual suspects. Like that's actual propaganda. That's in my opinion.
Even they are more
allegedly diligent. I'd love for you to
dude, listen.
It's not like it's
You're not
Zionist
going to hear from me that there's not propagandists on the right. There clearly are. That has no bearing whatsoever on whether or not it's the fact that it's left wingers who are always out there everybody. They are. And when you say, well, Candace is at just as much of a threat for left wingers to, I'm like, why would they? She does the best job of destroying the right out of any person I've ever seen. I've never seen the left create division among the right like this. Why the would the left want to? Why would she's their best tool? She's like their best tool ever.
I get it. You're making the argument that no one on the right could ever like, or just even someone this in the center that's been propagandized to say Candace bad. You're making it sound.
I'm not.
Like
listen, I'm not saying it's
possible.
not. I'm not saying it's not possible. I never put anything in a monolith. I'm just saying I don't. Here's what I don't see. I don't see right wingers using political violence and people as a tool for leverage. I usually see that from the left. It's not that it never happens, but it doesn't happen that often. And out of the two, since I know left wingers are the most lunatic fringe of all of this and seem to go out of their way to kill the most amount of people, why would they want to target Candace Owens when she's doing the best work out of all of them? That's why Z. Cohen Sanchez backs her messaging, who is an act blue communist, because she wants to see TPUSA destroyed. She wants to see the right-wing NGOs destroyed. And Candace is at the forefront of doing that. Why would the left want to? She's the best weapon they got.
I didn't make
she's
that
like,
argument.
I
see your point. I didn't.
Yeah, she's the best weapon they got. She's the best weapon they got. But anyway, we'll move on to the next
person. I'm not going to argue with you on that because I know that you feel strongly about that. But for example, Tucker and Candace are on this like FARA list. So maybe it's not the left or the right. But maybe it is. It's just our greatest ally. If you want to argue, if we want to have that debate.
Oh yeah, going to Candace Owens like they did Charlie Kirk, huh?
So did they put these people on the list? Did they put Tucker and Candace on a list because they just want to send them like
probably Adam Green? Adam
gifts?
Green is like, on AIPAC's list. Adam Green's on AIPAC's list. Like, what do you want, man?
Well, I feel sorry for him. What do you mean? What
do you want? He's oppositional and he's on he's on their list. I agree. I wish we would have more of those discussions. Instead, we have to discuss whether or not Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk's wife got together in Fort Cthulhu in order to plot his, because Stu Peters said so. Instead, we have to debate about that because people are.
What's the context? I think, Andrew, I think you're mixing the
That's
context.
just his voice, though, but it's not actual propaganda. He's not using propaganda. It's just his-
100% propaganda, and he won't even defend his propaganda. That's how bad the propaganda is.
What's the split, Andrew?
It's so bad he won't even defend it. That's how bad it is.
Andrew, I'm a little confused. You said I'm on a what FAR list?
I didn't say you were on a FAR.
I think you're
Oh,
very
I said
correct.
I said APAC. I said you're on APAC's list.
No, this guy says that Tucker and Candace are on a FAR list. What are you talking about? Is that because they went to Russia?
Or Qatar. Here we go with this. But I think that's the
no.
propaganda we're talking about. Like the split here politically is not just between propaganda from the left. There's actually, you seem to have a blind spot, and people, I think there's a frustration that people are having with you, is that the split is the OG MAGA American First versus if we're going to be a vassal state for. And that is where the converging of what Candace is bringing and what these left wingers like Anna Kaspar are bringing is because they do not want to be controlled. They like both of those.
So Nick is not OG America First. Then you're saying?
Say what? Oh no, listen.
You're saying Anna Kasparian is real America First. Nick's not.
Let me clarify what I'm saying.
I think Nick is more likely to work with America than Candace is, honestly.
The split, listen, this Candace thing,
You're crazy.
It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary, but it's not happening in a vacuum, right? So just think that this happened in a vacuum with no context about we're at war with Iran, which a lot of people think is not in the best interest of America and America first.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. But if listen, if that's what was being discussed, if all we were discussing was whether or not there should be less interference in American politics, that would be a conversation which I think a lot of people could unify behind. I think that in fact, I think a lot more people have moved towards that position over the last 2 years. There's no doubt that that's true, and it's great to see. But that's not what's happening.
Kramer, he's had his hand up forever. I want to.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll get to him in a second. But that's not what we're seeing. What we're seeing is a huge divisionary tactics, which are designed based off of non-evidence-based conspiracies and literal propaganda, like you see with Stu Peters, who was just trying to convince me that Andrew Colvett was at some fort plotting the demise of his best friend Charlie Kirk. Like, that's what they're talking. They're not talking about. Is now like a tangential thing for them to discuss. And that used to be a topic that more people were discussing. And I understand the original MAGA position of like, we don't want foreign intervention. We don't want to be in Iran. We don't want to be, in these different conflict zones. And I even understand the thought process of Trump betrayed that trust. I get all of that. And that's why I was happy to go debate Owen Schroyer and these guys, because he's coming at it from good faith, where he's like, look, here's what I believe, et cetera, et cetera. These people aren't doing that. This is something totally different than that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but I think it's the elephant in the room. That I think it's either the tail wagging the dog or,
Well, it's not the elephant that we're talking about anymore, because we're talking instead about how we can have some unification on the right from a bunch of nutcase wine mom, SSRI pill popping women. So anyway, you can get to the guy. Who's the guy who wanted to talk, Adam?
Captain Dreamer.
Hey, yeah, I just quickly want to respond to Blend for a second. I'll be really quick. First of all, Blend, you're saying something about Lindsey Graham with his physiology. That's the wrong term. The word you're looking for.
It's physiognomy.
Physiognomy. So
Physiognomy.
physiology is the study of the way the body works. Physiognomy is how you can read people based on physical features or whatever. But I want to get back to your other point, which is this OG MAGA versus this new MAGA discrepancy. I think Trump has always been fairly. I don't think anyone's been under this illusion that he's not.
Correct.
Even people who have been skeptic were like, okay, well, we can take this as long as we get deportations, we can secure the border. I don't see this divide between this really at all.
Wait a second, Captain. Are you saying that when he moved the embassy to the Capitol, that he in his first term that was a move, bro? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, and so like we kind of take for granted that I'm an OG, so I've been around since the 2016 times. I'm aware that Trump has been, and there's good and there's bad to that, obviously. But I don't like to see this like, oh, now we have to listen to like the Young Turks because leftists who are like openly anti-white, who want open borders, mass immigration. We don't need to listen to those people. That them pretending to be MAGA is just a way of trying to be subversive. Really, that's all.
Yeah, and by the way, they were all never Trumpers, and they hated Trump right from the beginning.
I remember
and the criticisms that they levied at him were that he was pro-right, that he was going to abolish rights. Like they had all the leftist criticisms. It's like I'm so sick of this bullshit. You're making a good point.
Correct.
You made a great point.
They're looking like the smarter people in the room at this.
Trump is not anti-white, dude. Trump's not anti-white. He hasn't done any anti-white policies at all.
Even this, just real quick, my last point, real quick. Even the criticism that Trump is anti-white or that Trump is not doing deportations or whatever, these are totally bad faith criticisms given by people who themselves have never talked about deportations.
They
don't care about DEI. They want more DEI. They don't care about this stuff.
In fact, they want more mass migration. Exactly, like that's a stated position of these leftists, including Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian. They want more mass migration. Anna Kasparian just went and took the pro-feminist side against Pearl Davis in a huge debate. Like these are not our friends. I don't know who this guy is, but I agree with everything he's saying. So just saying.
It's worth noting that like when you portray the as worse than the leftists, it moves people towards the leftists, and it's obviously an absurd thing to say. Leftists are way more damaging, and they could absolutely destroy the nation with even one more instance of power. So you shouldn't like be surprised that people move towards them if you put out that sort of rhetoric.
Does anyone think we'd have this platform if Kamala Harris was elected? I mean, think of the clampdown on free speech that would have happened. We would be banned from here. We were banned. Under the Biden administration, I was banned on Twitter like 150 times at least. Like, it's only because Elon purchased it and then went all in on Trump we have this platform.
If we tried to go to war, Republicans would have stood up against that. We might not even be in Iran if she tried to go to Iran. So, there's that. But I don't know, Andrew, if you want to get to more hands because there's quite a few of them.
Who's up next?
That's an example of a white man not understanding per capita, though. You got to.
Yeah, those people, the ones who get super caught up in a thing that barely it hurts anybody ever. They always freak the fuck out about that.
The guy that was talking earlier about Bridget Macron proving that she's a woman. You look it up. Last year, there was articles that she was submitting photos, I think of her private parts or when she was pregnant or something like that, in the Candace trial that Candace was trying to dismiss.
She has it though. There's no photos. So
just
we'll see. We'll wait for the case. But Candace isn't the main.
You think they're going to show publicly pictures of her?
No, dude, I don't want to see that. I'm just saying that Candace is not the one who came up with this. There was another gentleman that
the other guy got sued for defamation too.
Exactly, yeah,
and lost.
And it was unfound. Like she didn't prove.
No,
that
they
she was
appealed for free speech.
Just find me a picture of her being pregnant.
But he was proven wrong that it was.
Bro, they're like I don't know what you don't understand about that. Like why are you defending this person?
People just say that about
anybody with her husband when he was 14 years old.
Oh wait, never mind. You're right. Yeah, he was with him. Yeah, you're right. I forgot that part. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's not though. He wasn't
Oh no, let's not have that convo. All right.
Well, dude, words have meanings. How old was he?
Oh gee.
How old was he when they got together?
You might be friends with Andrew, and I don't want to do it to you right now. I can't. We got a lot of requests, but I don't know who's gonna and who's not. This chick, Brittany. Monkey, go ahead.
Hi. So, first off, I want to apologize for my interruption earlier. This is only my second space I've ever been in, and the first one they just saw kind of turns. And I thought y'all were.
We love women that take accountability. I love it.
Absolutely.
Get to your question if you don't mind.
Well, my original question was how you all, did things. But that got answered. My question is, so I follow a bunch of people. I try to get my news from every aspect and just take it all in and figure it out for
Dude, just
myself.
get to the point. We get it. Yeah, we all have scroll our feeds. Just please get to the point.
Okay.
Tom, I got to get rolling. I'm gonna
Do
jump
you
out of the space. If you're the co-host, you still keep the space, don't you?
I just had a question.
No, I might not, but that's cool. We can end it. We'll pick it up another day.
I just real
Yeah,
quick
Megan.
I had a question about the
Go ahead.
camera footage. I couldn't find
Okay.
the camera footage where they said
make the question.
the question is they came out of court and they said that they saw it in 4K, and I couldn't find the camera footage that they were referring to. Does anybody have a link or a
Well, hang on. So that my understanding of that, I can walk through this because I actually retweeted Prosobic myself because, well, I guess in retrospect, maybe I shouldn't have. So Kai Clips cleared that up though. And so I retweeted that and said, okay, that actually makes more sense. So this was a private viewing. They privately showed this video in court. Okay. And when they did, apparently it's much more clear, is what they're saying. It's a much clearer piece of footage. And they were able to. Now, I was able to confirm that much because there was a bunch going back and forth saying, no, actually, this is the same exact footage that we've already seen. It's not actually any clearer, this kind of thing. I was able to talk to some of the people involved who are like, no, it's a much, much clearer picture of what's going on. But it was not zoomed so that you could see the face, is my understanding. It does show him getting in the prone, and it's conflicting as to whether or not it shows him cleanly taking the shit or not. I don't know the answer to that because I've heard it both ways, but that was shown in a private viewing. That's why you haven't seen the footage.
To interrupt. My footage is bookmarked to my page of what it was before the clear. You know what I'm saying? It was what we had already seen. So take a look at it.
Yeah, I've seen this too. But my understanding from the people who were there is that this clip it's in a much better image quality than what's being shown here. Now I can't confirm that though because I haven't seen the footage. I wasn't there.
Right.
I can only tell you I can only tell you what the people are saying who were there, who's like, nope, it's much cleaner than what these kooks are saying, at least from the perspective of the now. But there's some other people who were there who claim that they saw it, and it wasn't that much clearer. But I do take the word of Kai Clips because he's the one who brought clarity to it very quickly, and I do have some trust for that guy. And he was like, "Look, this was overhyped by Benny Johnson and Jack Prosobic." Which doesn't surprise me, right? They sensationalized it a bit, and he was like, "I'm going to show you I'm going to tell you that the sensational bit they shouldn't have done, or they overhyped they shouldn't have done. Here's what I actually saw," and I was like, "Okay, that makes sense."
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
And Jack Poso actually quote tweeted me and he was like, yeah, this is, similar footage, blah blah blah. I forget what he said, but yeah, I have it on my page. So
Yeah, that's
I
just
saw that too, and you can see it's a higher quality video on that. And then when he jumps off the roof, they're zoomed in a lot more. So I think it's just they're zoomed in like that, but on the other side where he was in the sniper's nest. So yeah, they exaggerated the idea that you could see his face clearly, but you can definitely see. I mean, he's up there doing it. This is like an open shut case. It's rare that you ever that they put people in jail for life when there's not on camera at all taking this. It's amazing that they're able to get the whole thing the way they did, and people are trying to argue over this minutia that like, oh well, he said it, you could see his face, so they're all lying, and it's a big psyop.
Well,
Adam,
that's
That's just folks
correct.
that they've been
respectfully,
wrong about
Brittany,
everything.
hold
people
on.
in
Respectfully,
okay.
hold on, Brittany. Hold on. Respectfully, Adam. They put people in jail. I just want to correct that when they have like actual real evidence and alibis. There's actually somebody in the space right now, Diligent, who met with a gentleman did an interview. It's on his page right
And the
now. I think it's probably
FBI
pinned. Hold
already
on,
invented
Brittany.
them.
Brittany. And so, with multiple people testimonies that he was 3 hours away when he was allegedly meeting some officer in Orem, or making contact with an officer in Orem, but he couldn't have been.
Because he was
So I just
eating a
wanted to mention
steak.
that.
Because he was eating a steak.
Exactly.
Even though
And
the
there's a
restaurant owners don't just call their credit card processor and go, "Hey, what was the name on that card?"
yeah, we have the credit. I'm pretty sure, and I'll look for it for
No,
another
we don't
day. I don't
have the
want to
credit
hold you.
card. No, they
Yeah,
gave the FBI. They gave the FBI the slip, and it had the last four of the credit. They could call their credit card processor right this second at 2:00 in the morning. They can call their credit card processor and go, "This transaction was made on this day. What's the name on the card?" And they could be like, "Oh, it's Tyler Robinson."
And
sure.
they
Well, I'm glad you
did.
can at least
They
admit
didn't.
that
They
our
didn't do
three-letter
that.
agencies
No,
didn't
I
do the
meant
proper
they.
investigation that they should have. I get this woman. I can't.
What do you mean? They
She's like,
did. Hang on. She didn't do anything wrong, bro. What are you doing? You can't throw her out. She didn't do shit.
I thought you had to go anyway, and I was just trying. I
Yeah, but
wanted
so
to.
what? I didn't. She didn't do anything. She was being super good faith. But anyway,
Yeah.
she was the credit card process. You could call your credit card processor tomorrow and get the name on the card. The 3-letter agency probably matched the card to the bank records and went, "Oh, well, there was no transactions." And by the way, Tyler Robinson's defense didn't bring any of this up. Even Baron Coleman said himself, he's like, "I don't know why they didn't bring that up." It's like, I know why they didn't bring it up, because it doesn't match the financials. That's why they didn't bring it up. It's pretty easy.